Good morning. Welcome to the newsroom. I'm Mary P. Arcamo, your news correspondent. For the top story for today, let's talk about ASEAN at 50, the foreign ministers meeting. Will ASEAN have a tougher stand against China today? Let's find out. The ASEAN's annual foreign ministers meeting in time with its 50th anniversary was conducted with a very balanced outcome as China was said to set aside its insistence on a non-legally binding code of conduct on maritime disputes in the South China Sea. This statement was released by the Philippine Foreign Secretary Alan Cayetano even amid calls by the US, Japan, and Australia to the national regional bloc to make a tougher response against China's island building and strong militarization in the South China Sea area. The ASEAN's foreign ministers, on the other hand, reiterated their stand after the ceremony and emphasized self-restraint in the South China Sea issue. The ASEAN foreign ministers, on the other hand, had reiterated their stand after the ceremony and emphasized self-restraint in the South China Sea issue and reaffirmed their country's commitment to a code of conduct in the region. They said, however, that they discussed extensively and took note of the concerns expressed by their fellow members, most especially issues directed to land reclamation and militarization, which caused tension on the relationship between China and some of the ASEAN member states, which could undermine peace and security at the present period. In addition, the ministers insisted that they need to be careful in responding to this issue in order to avoid actions that may further complicate or escalate tensions surrounding the areas. We should be reminded that previously, the Philippine government has brought its dispute issue against China to an international tribunal and was granted by the following on its claim, but unfortunately, China refuses to acknowledge such ruling and was very firm on its statement that the conflict is only between claiming countries and China and thus must be solved in bilateral talks. China further stressed out to the ASEAN countries that outsiders must be kept away in interfering on the disputed issues. It is noted that aside from the Philippines, other members such as Brunei, Malaysia, Vietnam are also claimants on parts of the South China Sea. As of this moment, the ASEAN ministers are very open on the improving relationship of China against the member states on the ASEAN region. They are positively ready to begin talks on the frameworks of the code of conduct in the South China Sea. In fact, earlier this time, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi recalled that together with China, the ministers had agreed a three-step process for the development of the code of conduct, but with a precondition, of course, that the situation will first be generally stable and there is no major disruption from the outside parties. Meanwhile, Mr. Cayetano, the foreign minister of the Philippines, announced that the government had pushed to drop reference on the ongoing activities on the South China Sea. Hence, there is no reclamation done by the Chinese anymore, and that the final version of the communique emphasizes the importance of non-militarization and self-restraint. However, those statements were in conflict to the observation of the three countries, US, Japan, and Australia, saying that the COC should be legally binding, meaningful and effective, which is not the case of the ASEAN standpoint as of this moment. China, on the other hand, welcomes the ASEAN Joint Communique with much vigor and enthusiasm on the improvement of their relationship towards the ASEAN countries. In a statement made by China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi, he gladly expressed his praise on the communique, saying that it was very comprehensive and helpful on the ASEAN-China relationship. In addition, Foreign Minister spokesperson Ying Zhuang informed that China is willing to join hands with ASEAN countries in order to uphold peace and stability surrounding the South China Sea. The territorial claims challenge the relationship of ASEAN against China, but this present ASEAN-led multilateral interaction had given China an opportunity to showcase its social status quo power. Its present-day willingness to subscribe to the K-ASEAN norms is an indicator of its commitment towards regional stability. China's engagement in the pursuance of mutual benefits in the region of Southeast Asia, such as the Code of Conduct in South China Sea, is a positive indicator that China is recognizing a socially and morally mode of peaceful interaction. Should ASEAN show tougher response against China at this time? The relationship between the two had entered into a new era of mutual and comprehensive cooperation towards development. A tougher response seems untimely, and ASEAN ministers mostly adheres to a peaceful diplomacy, not to a legally binding statement that might as well aggravate tensions among nations in the Southeast Asian region. This is Mary Ann Arcamo, your news correspondent. Thank you for watching and good day.